Okay, I'm almost an hour and I have 4 more tweets after this. Okay, evictors, be careful what you say to others. It might come back to haunt you. A father turned his son motherless because of his evil plot with his mistress, and you all think his successful son is the problem. Go figure. That's for sure. Okay, girl, each time I read their so-called insult on Harry, I feel like they are making the case for the people. Everything can easily spit back at them once the people start chanting abolish the monarchy. So this person decided to respond. What did she say here? Where's the response? All right, let's go back. Reply, rubber and glue, literally. Okay, do you really believe that? That seems delusional. All right, whatever. Laughing my ass off. With a handle like love rules, there's the clown, you should like to slang the shit. Okay, where is your evidence? I'm not British. Okay, and really don't care for King Charles or Camilla, but let's be honest, Diana was not a saint. Well, remember, Diana fought to get her husband back. Let's not forget that. And luckily I said that at the beginning, where I said she was human. She needs to be touched. She needs to be loved.
5 years into the marriage, Diana said she suspected her husband had gone back to Camilla Parker Bowles, and she confronted him about it.
I remember saying to my husband, why this lady around? And he said, well, I refused to be the only Prince of Wales who never had a mistress.
Okay, she fought for her husband. She even went to the Queen.
By 1985, Diana told Sutherland she had had enough.
So I went to the top lady.
The top lady, otherwise known as Her Majesty. It was a bold move.
But if Diana had hoped to get support from the Queen, she was sorely disappointed. According to the princess, the Queen turned a cold shoulder to her appeal for help.
The princess described an emotional scene inside the walls of Buckingham Palace.
And I was sobbing, and I said, what do I do? I'm coming to you, what do I do? And she said, I don't know what you should do. Charles is hopeless. And that was it. That was help.
She went to the Queen and asked the Queen, please tell her husband to come back to her. What did the Queen say? The Queen said, what am I supposed to do? Okay, she even went to Camilla and said, Camilla, she understands what she's doing to her. Give her, I'm paraphrasing now. I think I have the audio. I'll put the audio.
I walk into the house and stick my hand out to Camilla for the first time and think, phew, got over that. We were all upstairs and I was chatting away, and I suddenly noticed that there was no Camilla, no Charles upstairs. So this disturbs me. So I make my way to go downstairs again. I know what I'm going to confront myself with. Try and stop me from going downstairs. Then I don't go down there. I'm just going to find my husband. I go downstairs, and there's a very happy little threesome going on downstairs. Camilla, Charles, and some other man who I didn't know, chatting away. So I thought, right, this is your moment. So I went and sat down, joined in the conversation as though we were best friends. And I said, Camilla, I'd love to have a word with you if possible. And she looked really uncomfortable, put her head down. She said, oh yes, right. And I said to the 2 men, okay boys, I'll just have a quick word with Camilla, and I'll be up in a minute. And they shot upstairs like chickens with no heads. And I could feel upstairs all hell breaking loose. What was she going to do? So I said, Camilla, you'd like to sit down. So we sat down, and I was terrified of that. And I said, Camilla, I'd just like to know that I know exactly what's going on. And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, I know what's going on between you and Charles, and I just want you to know that. And she said to me, very interesting, she said to me, you've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got 2 beautiful children, what more do you want? And I didn't believe what she said anyway. So I said, I want my husband. And she said, well, and she looked down the whole time. I said to Camilla, I'm sorry I'm in the way. I obviously am in the way. And it must be hell for both of you. But I didn't know what's going on, don't you know? In the car on the way back, my husband was over me like a bad rash. I cried like I've never cried before. It was anger. It was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out. Cried. I didn't sleep that night. And the next morning I woke up.
She wants her husband back.
So I said, I want my husband.
What did Camilla say?
You've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got 2 beautiful children. What more do you want?
Oh, you have 2 beautiful children. You have this. All the men in the world will love you and all of that. Okay? She married Charles. She fought for her husband. She wanted her husband. Even the mistress. She went to the mistress. The mistress said, oh, you're a beautiful woman. You could get any man that you want. So, what did she did? She's a human being. Everybody around her stick to the same script of Charles to make her seem like she's the only one who's crazy. She's not seeing what she's actually seeing.
Offhandedly revealing the story of a private showdown she'd had with the Queen over Camilla Parker Bowles, the woman Diana thought had stolen her husband.
She felt that there was a basic conspiracy inside the royal family amongst friends, courtiers, bodyguards, valets, to deceive her about the presence of Camilla in her life. So it was a canker that ate away at her.
By 1985, Diana told Settlin she had had enough.
So I went to the top lady.
So, hey, and they plot against her, call her crazy. Now one of her sons went on national television to call his mother delusional.
Used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother. Made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
It wasn't his father.
And she confronted him about it.
I remember saying to my husband, why this lady around? And he said, well, I refused to be the only Prince of Wales who never had a mistress.
And stepmother.
It's very interesting. She said to me, you've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got 2 beautiful children. What more do you want? So I said, I want my husband. And she said, well, and she looked down the whole time. I said to Camilla, I'm sorry I'm in the way.
Who caused his mother's pain.
In the car on the way back, my husband was over me like a bad rash. I cried like I've never cried before. It was anger. It was 7 years of pent-up anger coming out. Cried.
To do some of the things. They blame. What did he blame? I'll put the nonsense that he spewed. Okay? So everyone around Princess Diana stuck to Charles and Camilla's script.
Do you really believe that a campaign was being waged against you?
Yes, I did, absolutely. Yeah.
Why?
I was a separated wife of the Prince of Wales. I was a problem, full stop. Never happened before. What do we do with her?
Can't we pack her off to somewhere quietly rather than campaign against her?
She won't go quietly. That's the problem. I'll fight till the end.
Okay? But they make it seem like she was the one who's crazy. And oh my God, thank God I read what I read that I posted on my community board. Okay? She fought them by herself.
It's the strength that causes the confusion and the fear. Why is she strong? Where does she get it from? Where is she taking it? Where is she going to use it? Why do the public still support her? When I say public, you go in and do an engagement and there's a great many people there.
Until she removed herself out of that toxic situation.
The campaign was, in that point, was being successful. But it did surprise the people who were causing the grief. It did surprise them when I took myself out of the game. They hadn't expected that. And I'm a great believer that you should always confuse the enemy.
Who was the enemy?
Well, the enemy was my husband's department, because I always got more publicity. My work was discussed much more than him, and from that point of view, I understand it. But I was doing good things, and I wanted to do good things. I was never going to hurt anyone. I was never going to let anyone down.
But you really believe that it was out of jealousy that they wanted to undermine you?
I think it was out of fear, because here was a strong woman doing her bit, and where was she getting her strength from to continue?
Once she moved herself out of that toxic situation, look what happened to her. Okay? They all are baggage for God. Alright? Did I finish with that? Whatever. You could read what's on the screen. Let's go to the next tweet. Eventually, luckily everybody have an expiration date. Next tweet.